y'all, it's Stephanie with Ghost Stories, because everybody has one. I've got a little update on one of the stories that we did earlier with Chad Darnell. So if you haven't, you don't want to hear this until you go back and watch the videos that we did with Chad. We are in his apartment, and we tell some stories of some things that happened in Chad's apartment. And actually, when we're in the apartment, I think it's the third video where we actually, when we were interviewing Chad, we heard a disembodied voice, a woman's voice, while we were in the middle of the interview. And you can't quite hear it. I think you hear like a little shh, but you can't quite hear the voice on the video, but we all clearly heard it in the room because you can see our responses. So Chad has had some other things happen in the apartment, so he gave me permission to do a little update, so I just thought I'd share this update with you. So I'm going to have to read what he wrote. But he said he's out of town, he's a casting director, and so he's been casting several other shows, and so so he hasn't been in his Savannah apartment. And so he said, while I've been out, I've had a friend picking up my mail in Savannah, and my landlord has been showing my apartment to people for when I move out, because he actually may move out of that apartment. And it said, last night I get a text that the television freaked out my friend because it was on. The volume was silent, but the TV was on. So I messaged my landlord and asked him if he noticed it, and he said yes, it was on really loud. To which I asked, why didn't you turn it off, seeing as how I'm not there? And so then Chad thought, well, I probably need to apologize to my neighbors. So I messaged my downstairs neighbor and I said, hey, I'm sorry. Apparently my television came on by itself, and apparently the volume has been both loud and quiet, and no one has actually turned it off. Sorry if it bothered you guys. And she replied, haven't heard the television, just all the people walking around late at night. And Whiskey, her dog, runs out and runs up to the stairs and barks at the door. And and Chad said to the neighbor, no one is upstairs. I've been in Atlanta for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, so that's kind of crazy. Anyway, I just thought oh, and by the way, there's no other apartment upstairs. Chad's is the only one that is actually upstairs. So there's nobody else, you know, in the, could be another apartment. So I thought that was interesting. Thought you guys would find that a little interesting. Do a little quick blurb there on update on but you can go in, watch those videos, and that's the actual apartment that you'll see. And we have some stills on our Ghost Stories Facebook page if you want to kind of go see a few more shots of the apartment. Anyway, hope y'all are having a good day. Take care. And if you tell me your ghost story, I'll tell you mine.